Kong Skull Island is directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts, and it stars Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson, Toby Kebbell, Corey Hawkins, Jason Mitchell, Shia Wiggum, Thomas Mann, John C. Riley. So many amazing, talented individuals and actors. So much stardom in this film. But anyway, this film is set in 1973, where the film follows a team of scientists and Vietnam War's soldiers traveling to the uncharted Skull Island and meeting Kong, a gigantic ape who is the last of his species, closely followed by other terrifying creatures. This film has a bunch of Marvel actors. Let's just get this out of the way. I saw this movie in theaters, and then I never saw this movie again until I think like HBO Max before they changed their names or something like that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's been a while since I've seen this movie, and I did not rewatch this film. But I have took notes from the last time I saw this movie, and I written them down, and I'm gonna explain this movie to you. So we're gonna break this movie down into. So here's how this movie review is gonna go. I'm gonna break this movie down into the positives and the negatives, and we're just gonna conclude it. That's pretty much how all these videos tend to go. But anyway, I love how this film is not a rehash of the basic King Kong story like the original 1933 film and the 1976/2005 remakes, instead having a fresh original origin story. Plus, this is an example of the reboot's plot being rehashed done right. And Kong's first appearance in the first 5 minutes was really thrilling and captivating. There's some spectacular special effects for the monsters. Um, I would say maybe just a tiny, like an inch better than Godzilla 2014, but I think it's all good. I think the overall the special effects is really good. There's some really good acting, especially from John C. Riley, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson, John Goodman, and Brie Larson. There are some awesome moments throughout the film. The best example being when Kong bashes and smashes the military helicopters. That was just exciting and thrilling. It fixed a bunch of problems, according to an interview with director Jordan Roberts. He stated that the movie won't be rating 40 minutes to an hour to reveal the monster uh, was seen as a welcome change. Given the complaints that King Kong to the 2005 and the Godzilla 2014 uh, takes got about taking too long to show the titular monster, and he wasn't lying in this film, as God is as Kong is seen within the first 5 minutes, which is awesome. I love how the director Jordan Roberts was able to do that. This film has some great story and amazing packed with amazing action sequences and an awesome soundtrack by Henry Jackman. Um, the fight in the From what I heard at the time the film came out, the fight scenes got massive praise from everyone. I looked it up. I saw the Rotten Tomato scores, and I was reading like critics their reviews and the audience score reviews. I was reading like a few and a couple of them, and it seems like the fight scenes everyone loves. I mean, how can you not? I mean, it's really entertaining and highly enjoyable with the action and the fight scenes. But yeah, the character of Hank Marlowe, played by John C. Riley, is hilarious. I mean, it's John C. Riley. I love John C. Riley as an individual and as an actor. He's hilarious. He brings a hilarious, comedic, and very likable um, energy to his character. Um, and with a very tragic backstory of his friend being killed by the skull crawlers, the ending of him returning to his family and watching a Chicago Cubs game on TV is also just very, very heartwarming, and I really appreciate that. The post-credit scenes got so many people excited at the time. I mean, like I said, this movie like came out like in 2017, and it got a lot of people excited at the time for the future MonsterVerse films, which would be, you know, Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong and all that great stuff. Um, but anyway, Kong himself looks great in this movie, and his design is reminiscent to the original 1933 King Kong design. Furthermore, he also walks upright like he did in the aforementioned 1933 film, as well as being portrayed as a mythical god like he was supposed to be. And the other monsters in this film look really impressive and creative, especially the skull crawlers. Great references and tributes to other monster movies. For example, the scene where Kong fights the Meyer squid is very reminiscent to the scene in King Kong versus Godzilla, where Kong battles against a giant octopus to protect the natives of Faroe Island. There are even homages, to the 1976 remake of King Kong, such as the scene where, Kong smashes a UH-1 Iroquois and the same type of utility helicopters that supposedly killed Kong in the 1976 film's climax. But yeah, just a lot of great stuff. This movie was, you know, I, I mean, there is some exposition in this film, but like given to these human characters, but like this film for the most part was highly entertaining and really enjoyable, and I had a great time watching this movie in theaters. But yeah, I mean, like going into the negatives, I mean, like the 2014, like the excuse me, the 2014, like the 2014 remake of Godzilla, which I recently did a review. Go check it out. The film focused mostly on the human characters rather than the monsters, and I get it. I mean, when your movie is about like these giant monsters and especially live action, it's especially live action, the CGI and the effects are very, you gotta, it's, more expensive, and the budget and all the money issues. I get it. I get that's the reason why. I mean, I expected that. I expected that going into these films. But yeah, it is very unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter because for not all of them, but for most of them, for most of the characters, I really did enjoy them. uh you know these characters, especially like I said, I keep going back to John C. Riley. He's my favorite standout character actor in this film. But anyway, yeah. My other issue with this film is that the characters have a noticeable lack of charisma or any development, specifically an arc with Weaver and Conrad that ended up being resolved. Yeah, so just like there's really not much development for a lot of these human characters. I mean, you get how, they're being recruited to go to to go to Skull Island, but there's not really beyond all this, beyond all that, besides all that, it's just there's not really much development, and that's unfortunate. I wish they would have developed these characters more, but then again, yes, I understand that that would, extend the runtime of this film. And it could be seen as a deleted scene. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I did felt like the ending of this film came off as a little bit too rushed, but that's just my personal, honest feelings about this film. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say for Kong Skull Island. Overall, really enjoyed this film. I just wished, the action sequences, the visual effects, the performances, both. I mean, when I think about this movie, I will think about John C. Riley and Samuel Jackson. Those are the two standouts. But yeah, I really did enjoy this. I just wished there would have been more development to the characters themselves. and I wish the ending for this film could have been just a little bit slightly, executed better. But other than that, I really enjoy this film. Go check it out. I'm sure you already did that. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, thank you everyone for taking time to listening to my review, my thoughts on Kong Skull Island. Please like and subscribe. That will really help me out, and I'm thankful for that. I am grateful for that, and I appreciate that, and I love you guys. So yeah, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.